Good morning, everybody. Mark Finan here in the home weather office on this Friday morning. It's now the 7th day of March 2025, and this is the morning briefing coming to you from a very sunny home weather office. It's a chilly morning. Many areas are down in the 30s first thing this morning with some scattered frost in parts of the foothills. You might expect that after a passing weather system, but today is going to turn out to be a nice day. We are now in the time of year, we're just 2 weeks away from the equinox, where the sun angle is pretty high. So even though we'll have a chilly morning with bright blue sky and relatively cool air aloft, we will still see temperatures get up close to average, if not above average, in the valley. For Sacramento at this time of year, the average is 66 degrees, so it'll be in that range, like I said, if not even a little bit higher, but not as warm as what we saw at the end of last week when we saw daytime highs reach the mid-70s. Let's take a look at what's happening above first thing this morning. As you can see, we have clear skies in the valley, everything looking nice and green. Zoom in on this just a touch. And yes, it looks nice and green as the sun comes up. Some clouds going through the southern part of the valley. We're going to keep an eye on Southern California. There's a chance we may see a couple of showers pop up over the mountains today, and some of the models are still indicating there could even be a stray thunderstorm down there. We'll keep an eye on that. Also notice this feature right here. I know it's kind of tough to pick out, but there's some cloud cover still dropping down from the north and interacting with the eastern side of the Sierra. Lake Tahoe skies are clear. And I was just looking at some webcams around Yosemite. I showed you some of those yesterday. And Yosemite is nice and clear. However, let's go just a little bit farther to the east. So Yosemite, there's Mono Lake. So Yosemite is right in here. Skies are clear on the east side of the Sierra. And you can see all that fresh snow cover and the rivers coming down on the west slope. Just love how that all gets delineated by the fresh snow. Beautiful snow in the central and southern Sierra from that last system. But you notice the clouds dropping down from the north. And while I said it's sunny on the west side, on the east side, it is not sunny. Let me show you the way it looks at Mammoth. That's the way it looks up on Mammoth Mountain this morning. And I can even time-lapse that for you. And you can see that it is still cloudy. It's still snowy. This is a good snowmaker for Mammoth. So it's really interesting because the distance between Mammoth and Yosemite, as the crow flies, isn't very far. You know, during summertime, you can go up over Tioga Pass and you're in Mammoth and not all that long a time. Or if you decide to hike the Muir Trail, it's, again, not all that far away. But, yeah, you can see that in Mammoth it is snowy and cloudy. But on the west slope, there's nothing going on. It's nice and clear, and it will stay sunny and clear throughout the day. And let me just kind of go over to this side. And you can see as the sun comes up here, just how green the valley is now. Yeah, we're still at the time of year where everything is just starting to bloom. And yeah, we'll get into June, July, and all of that will turn golden. All right, let's see what is going on out in the Pacific. Because we look out into the Pacific to look at our next chances of rain. And that's really what I want to highlight this morning is, so we're going to have a nice Friday. We're going to have a nice weekend. When is it going to rain again? We had been looking at a system coming our way on Monday. You might remember that from previous chats. We've been looking at Monday, the 10th. The models have been really aggressive at bringing something in around the 10th. Well, here is the 10th. And we have a little low spinning around here. And again, I know, especially if you're looking at this on a phone, it might be tough to tell. But this is California right in here. There's a low spinning around here. And then here's the moisture we'd be looking for. This time it is still off the coast. And that low sinks to the south. So by the time we get into Monday night and Tuesday, there could be some light rain into Southern California. But Northern California will miss out. I had somebody tell me yesterday that works outdoors said, yeah, I don't know how much work we're going to get done next week. They say it's going to rain all week. Yeah, Monday and Tuesday are going to be dry around here. So if your app's saying it's going to rain Monday and Tuesday, or maybe your app's saying there's a 8% chance or a 10% chance or whatever the apps say, it's not going to rain in Northern California. I'll show you more on that here in a minute. But then we have a better chance of rain on Wednesday. However, as I look at this, and this is why I look at this, You'll notice that the moisture here, there's moisture and there's some good orographic flow, the flow from the southwest. So that looks good. Some dynamics, some good orographic flow, and a little bit of moisture. However, we have precipitable water that's in the range of 3/4 of an inch. That's fine. We'll get some rain. We'll get some good snow out of this, but it's not like it's an AR sort of system like this. So the difference between this amount of moisture and this amount of moisture means that this would be a more moderate sort of system as opposed to a big sort of system like this one. At least that's the way the models are showing it right now. And then as we head through the day on Thursday, that area of moisture sinks to the south, drying things out. And then beyond that, there may be other chances of rain coming our way. But right now, I don't see anything that's super AR-ish to come our way. All right, I'm going to go over to the NAM for a minute, just talk about these temperatures for the weekend. And for that, we'll look at these temperatures around 5,000 feet. Nothing magical about the 5,000 foot level, the 850 millibar level to be more precise, but actually, as I have this over this, it says it's 41 degrees. This is at 4 o'clock this afternoon at 4,908 feet. Sometimes the 850 millibar level when the temperatures are colder is well below 5,000 feet. And when the temperatures are warmer, it's well above 5,000 feet. So that's why we say 850 millibars, it's around 5,000 feet. But what it does is it helps to give you a good reference point for the temperatures down at the surface. So low 40s today. When we saw the really warm weather last week, we were seeing these 850 millibar temperatures in the upper 50s. So this is Saturday afternoon, 40s. So once again, we'll see temperatures down on the surface probably get up to around average, which is mid, maybe even upper 60s. Some of the warmer spots might be as high as 70. And then on Sunday, also not much change in that. The temperature will loft around 45 degrees. So the weekend will be nice. It'll be fine, but the mornings will still be somewhat chilly. I'm not sure if we'll see any morning frost in the foothills, but we will see cool mornings, but beautiful afternoons, perfect for anything outdoors. All right, so let's get to the chances of rain for next week. So for those of you that do work outdoors or just otherwise depend on the weather for next week, let's take a look at next week. This is Saturday. Saturday is dry. Sunday is dry. Here comes that system on Monday. This is Monday morning. There's the low spinning around off the coast. We'll see some clouds from that, but any chance of rain goes into Southern California. This is Monday night, early Tuesday morning. Some light to moderate rain in Southern California, but as you can see, once you get north of the Grapevine, all of this area is dry. So again, for those of you that work outdoors Monday and Tuesday, you'll be able to get those days in without any issues. All right, let's get into when it will rain. This is Wednesday, and this is the 12Z run. The models have been varying a little bit, but this is the latest run. This is at, this will be 11 o'clock in the morning. Remember, we have a time change this weekend, which will throw off all models and stuff. I kind of like the time change for the afternoon thing, but in the evening, staying later in the evening, but boy, for models and stuff, it just delays everything by an hour. Anyway, I digress. This is 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Wednesday. Nice rain in the valley, snow in the Sierra, at this time probably around 5,000 feet. However, this kind of jumps out at me. There is the 540 thickness line, meaning we have cold air advection happening, and that will help to drop the snow level. This is on Wednesday night. Now we'll likely get snow down to 4,000 feet if the model is correct. This is on Wednesday night and getting into Thursday morning. So yeah, we could see some nice snow up and down the range, maybe even as low as 3,500 feet, maybe. Again, this is kind of far out there, so trying to differentiate the snow level down to a 500-foot difference at this point is tricky. But let's say we will see really good snow at 5,000. We could see snow at 4,000, but how much? Don't know. But this would be especially Wednesday night and Thursday of next week, and then everything will be tapering off beyond that. Thursday, maybe some showers, and beyond that we are dry-ish. So how much rain and snow we're talking about? Let's take a look at, I can do total precip accumulation here. Okay, so for Sacramento, it says 121, and again, that's Wednesday and Thursday. On the west slope, 3 to 4 inches of water. Typical rain shadow pattern here. So areas like Tracy would see quite a bit less. And the same thing, and toward Patterson and Newman and all that I-5 corridor. But Lake County, probably 2 inches, something like that. Again, the model's kind of going back and forth on this a little bit, but either way, it looks like a good soaking rain. And, so for those of you that do work outdoors Wednesday and Thursday, maybe not so good. Now, in terms of total snow, let's see how this does. This looks good. This is showing 3 to 4 feet-ish, something like that. This really won't be able to differentiate how much snow we can get at 5,000 feet or 4,000 feet yet, but those are details that we can look at for next week. Keep in mind that the GFS, because it doesn't have great definition to it, it can give you just kind of the big picture. Oh, it's going to rain Wednesday. This isn't good at saying it's going to start raining at 9:30. No, this is just kind of, it's going to rain late morning, something like that. So the GFS kind of gives you the big picture. As it gets closer, we start looking at the NAM, and then that day or a couple of days out, we look at the HRRR, and then so you get that finer resolution on the models as everything gets closer. So for right now, we're looking at rain Wednesday, Thursday, Sierra snow, probably not great for Sierra travel, probably a little windy as this goes by as well, but those again are details that we can sort out. So if you're sitting there going, Mark, I live in such and such, and I want to know if I'm going to get snow, I probably can't tell you right now. If you're at, let's say, 3,800, 4,200 feet in that range, can't tell you right now if you're going to get snow, or if you are, how much snow you're going to get. But again, that's something we'll have to keep an eye on. For those of you above 5,000 feet, and for those of you that are Sierra travelers, Wednesday, Thursday, big time snow above 5,000 feet. By big time, I mean 2 to 3 feet, maybe 4 at the ski resort, something like that. So, and the other word I should use here is potential, because we are still talking about something 5 days out. So let's just say potential for big snow in the Sierra, good rain in the valley, but probably not enough rain to cause any issues because of what I showed you with the precipitable water. Precipitable water is around 3/4 of an inch. If you wanted to see something that would maybe cause us, some minor flooding issues in the valley, we'd be needing to see that precipitable water an inch, inch and a quarter, and have it be sustained for a little while. So while we should see some nice rain in the valley Wednesday, Thursday, I don't see any issues from that. In terms of issues, it'll get in the way if you have a concrete pour or something like that, and obviously it'll impact you if you're traveling through the Sierra on Wednesday and Thursday, just because of the typical Sierra slowdowns we get with a couple of feet of snow and chain controls and all the rest of that. So lots of details to sort out for next week. In the meantime, it's Friday. The sun's out. The weekend's here. Enjoy it. Make it a great day. I'll talk with you later.